Hey everybody, today I want to share with you some unethical ways the media and politicians use data to change the narrative to help themselves and/or hurt their enemies. Let's go.
Let's take a look at crime statistics in ABC City. We're looking at the total amount of crimes, felonies specifically, from 2015 to 2022. We see that all crimes went up. The total number of crimes in 2015 was 91,583 to 163,882 in the year 2022. All crimes went up. We put that on a graph and we see, in fact, all crimes went up. Unfortunately, we also see specifically grand larceny went from 44,005 to 60,978. That's a pretty steep increase. It went up 38%. Unfortunately, the mayor of ABC City is very concerned. He began an initiative several years ago to lower grand larceny. He allocated $12 million to lower grand larceny. Unfortunately, as we can see, the numbers went up. What are we going to do? What we're going to do is we're going to calculate the percentage of crimes that occurred for that particular year over the total. Let's take a look at robberies. There were 18,580 robberies in 2022 out of a total of 163,882. So we divide those two numbers and we come up with 0.113 or 11.3%. In other words, of all the total crimes committed in 2022, 11.3% of them were robberies. We do this for all of the crimes for all of the years. In 2022, grand larceny was 37.2% out of the total. We put all of these numbers on a graph. So in 2015, 48% of all the crimes committed were grand larceny. By 2022, only 37.2% of all the crimes committed were grand larceny. As a result, now the mayor can say he lowered grand larceny. It went down 10.6 percentage points. However, when we look at burglaries, this calculation and the previous calculation method, just looking at the straight numbers, burglaries went up. The problem is that the police commissioner also began an initiative to lower burglaries. So now the police commissioner is very concerned because these calculation methodologies make it look like burglaries went up, and in fact, they did go up. But the police commissioner wants to show otherwise. He wants to put a twist on this. We can see that this same methodology used to calculate grand larceny shows that burglaries represented 10.7% of all the crimes committed in 2015. By 2022, they represented 16% of all the crimes. Let's take a look at those burglaries. In 2015, there were 9,776 burglaries. In 2022, there were 26,248. So clearly, burglaries went up. We're going to show the year-over-year percentage change. How do we calculate that? We calculate that by the following formula: current year minus previous year over previous year. And in this scenario, 12,526 minus 9,776 over 9,776 equals 28.1%. So here we're showing year-over-year percentage change. Now we take these numbers and graph them out. So let's take a look at burglary again in green. In 2015, the year-over-year change was 28.1%. By 2022, the year-over-year change was 7.8%. Now the police commissioner can show that burglaries in fact went down. But in reality, we know that they really went up. But he'll still say that burglaries went down 20.3 percentage points.
So what do you think? Would you use these methods? Do you think they're ethical?
For more advice on dealing with office politics, leave a comment below, subscribe, and follow me.